I love Brace Club. I love Brace Club. I love Brace Club. The man is embarrassed and his face reddens. His children laugh and point with a devilish glee. This scene is an example of innocent humour because it was not the man's intention for his swimming trunks to come down. He had simply stood in the water and pulled his speedos before the kids. One doubts whether the children would have reacted at the same level of delight. Keep in mind that God is dead. Money isn't real and love is merely a chemical imbalance, and you'll be just fine. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I remember the day. I remember the day. I remember the day. Even the strum of 1,000 string instruments, the beating of 1 billion drums and the crash of stressed syllables couldn't describe or articulate the deafening silence that this world was born into. Turning, burning and churning, all its elements came to be as they are now. Through both fire and water, its shape was moulded. Created destructive irony and then cast amongst its siblings. Creatures of formidable size, irregular structure and glorious symmetry, then grazed its fragile landscapes, eventually blossoming into beings of both intellect and emotion, creatures of both dark and light. It is this battle, this war that has raised the souls of mankind throughout history, which we will explore. The power of speech, the prowess of poetry, rhyme and song entangle the souls of all. It is what we do with this, what we do with our self-expression that defines us, you and I. The moment I walked out my door, I knew this day wouldn't leave me, the white of your eyes and those strands of hair. They kept me enticed, shape and the style I see. I felt like our meeting was meant to be. The chemistry sparked between you and I has simply set me free. In a tall grass that waved a light breeze blew over 2 bodies which lay entwined. A man and woman, both creations, the sum and answer of a progression, a process repeated throughout this world's known history. Bodies all around us, moulded and shaped too, with voices to tell stories, whispering. Isaac parted with his own words and spoke these softly into Sasha's ear. So now I lay, but not for long. The hairs on the back of her neck rose and the pimples raced across her skin, which sat exposed. Isaac began to rise from the position he had been moments before. In one smooth movement, with his eyes unwavering, he looked outward and into the distance. Searching the horizon and its lines, his tone changed, and what had felt sweet to Sasha now changed to something more stern. Looking strong and masculine, he stood now on his feet. Let us begin this endless journey into an eternity lost, for I no longer know what it is to be alive. I am numb with these feelings. Sasha gazed past Isaac, and the hairs that stood to attention now settled peacefully. Her mind was somewhere else, so into the above she stared, paralysed with the pleasure that gripped her body. She then recounted painfully the fleeting instances that had been before mind at one with soul. She knew these scars could be overcome. Around them the waves could be heard breaking, and the call of seabirds echoed. Raindrops began to fall gently, and an atmosphere marinated by light pitter-patter of water on rock and earth. Isaac turned to face away from Sasha. She was now upright, earthly senses returning, coming to her eyes, traced the water droplets that had started to roll down Isaac's spine, and she felt a shiver as the cooler sea breeze caressed her bare skin. Again Isaac spoke. The future, both past and present, now makes sense. No matter how tense, there are always ways, sometimes just to display and let feelings flow proud. Step out of the dark, walk into the light of your soul. Looking into the distance, Isaac seemed at peace, his body relaxed. Sasha began to rise and edge closer towards her partner, who now stood at the top of a rock face. What lay behind them and around further beneath? What did it matter? The shrill and sharp sounds of gulls and growing storm further out at sea that set the scene. Now by the side, naked honesty defined them and the landscape, the pale outline of Isaac's body, at a subtle contrast with his dark features and the complexion of Sasha. Their fingertips touched, but the bond between them reverberated strong. What they had seen and experienced, none of it mattered, or would it shortly. Breathing, controlled bodies, both calm, they embraced the dark, elusive eyes of Isaac, traced Sasha's emerald features. This life, at this moment, was made up of the string, salt, and unfamiliar smell of recent wetted grass. They leapt, and they fell, fast, with streamlined smiles. But we now fall from this earthly existence into darkness and mystery, or do we? Could we climb into another existence, into the light and knowledge? Where the blackness should have been, only light remained, and Isaac and Sasha hit the water. It was not the end, where the cold icy concrete should have smashed against them. Rock upon bone and crimson explosions. They were met instead with one warm embrace, one in another light might call its touch, home. Rather than closing the door behind them to shelter from the rain, they had embraced it. Sounds and the vibrations that made them echo all around. The touch of the unknown gripped Sasha and Isaac. Both throats bent like the mind, words they could not utter. It was the fear of what was to come that held them. The path ahead split it seemed. Whilst both continued to tumble neither up or down, it was clear that there was more than one way this could lead for both. Avenues were visible. Some led to where they knew neither one could not know. Stomachs spanned like this deep chasm found themselves in. Their limbs were torn and their hearts were torn till only fragments remained, and they were still the man and woman who had jumped. It's quite long. Sorry, I'm too bad at reading.
That was quite difficult, that one. That was quite long.
I quite like that one. I went to SeaWorld when I was 10 and I pooped my pants. I pooped my pants at SeaWorld and it fell out of my swim shorts onto the sidewalk. I pooped my pants on the sidewalk at SeaWorld and an old lady slipped over on it. I made an old lady slip over in my poop at SeaWorld and my mummy bought me a new t-shirt. Save the whales. Behold, my terrible excuse of an avocado. Could you make guacamole with this? No, you could not. It is a distinct impossibility. The horror when uncovering its oversized stone can make the avocado quite the sassy produce. Our soul is temporarily as vacuous as its core, kindled by nutrients betrayal. Prior to the big reveal, you've simply got no idea what lies beneath. Selecting aesthetically pleasing shells, one better than anyone else could possibly pick. That was in brackets. Selecting the aesthetically pleasing shells is exposure of our universal and shallow entitlement. Yet ultimately, they have the power to deny desire and multiply inconvenient visits to the grocers. Schrodinger's avocado, you're a cruel, fruity mistress. And yet, we continue to take that risk, taking solace in the next being more satisfied. We stand resilient to their randomized, audacious defiance. However, in demanding from nature's wares, we stare into the abyss that lurks under our own skins. Do not be a disappointing avocado, you're better than that. Woo. I thought you had your serial factory worker thing. I don't know what message you can type out. Bites nails. What kind of message? Question mark. What? Like a question or bed bugs? I don't know. They're not like anything I've ever seen. Should we try this out and see if there's moderate success? But if it doesn't work, I'll have to go in. Shit, we've eaten so much cheese this weekend. It's not my usual diet. Ah! Despair and die. Well, here's a moody doody. He is a moody doody, but we love him. We love him so, we love him so. Here's a moody doody. Here's a moody doody, but we love him. We love him so, we love him so, we love him so. Stider and Skallison fan art is what I live for. This woman's art is overwhelmingly beautiful. I love art and Katie and my dog. I'm cute. I need a new vibrator. He's like art in the way that he's always up for interpretation. These are the biggest art news stories from last week. I love art. It blows my mind some people can't understand that you can love art. And that is explicitly not made for you or about you. No rules or music in art. That's how it's supposed to be. My art is getting better, right? Looks almost real. Optimal Prime. If you listen to the full-length Herbal Essences advert, it whispers, "Buy our shampoo." At the end, New World Illuminati Blue Rinse Monday. Go online to 501.online for more info. You could already be there. Yeah, Wall Street is rigged. Low pressure, hurricane force winds. The fat cats rake in the dough while the rest of us fight over crumbs. 1 to 2 degrees above zero. Nothing happens randomly or by luck. The luck comes from who you know. And now you know Jake Plateau. Time to stop burning. Harold Stingler. Probably never seen weather. A little nervous when he first started using Jake Plateau's new trading program. He had never traded anything other than warm tropical air and Pokemon cards. Back in the day. At the end of the first 30 days, hurls it away to the North Pole. $250 initial deposit had grown to $482,180! Exclamation mark. Yeah, just under $500,000. Ask every professional trader what is the best way to make money with binary operations and he will tell you. Trade with friends, think weapons, air conditioners and ice cream for starters. Now, the most important part the average user of the software makes between $1,250 to $3,700 in profits every single day. He will tell you lucrative business opportunities, sell more systems to the military, move air conditioners to sweltering civilians, and more medications to people afflicted with tropical diseases. I really need you to check this out urgently. This could really be a game changer and make a huge difference in your life. Hearing a crow with no mouth cry in the deep darkness of the night. I feel a longing for my father before he was born. I would like to give you something, but what would help? And that's it.
Sorry, I can't read.